Africa is a continent of 54 defined countries, of which Kenya is one. It's not your fault. We're taught basically nothing about Africa in school. My trip to Kenya was a blind date. Matter of fact, it was my first blind date. I knew this place existed, but knew nothing else besides what I could read in its bio. It's hot. They have world-renowned safaris, including the Great Migration. I would be the minority, and yep, that's about it. Through trial and error, nearly getting arrested, hospitable local advice, this Mzungu soon learned a few of the ins and outs of this East African country. Kenya produces entrepreneurs by necessity and harnesses ingenuity as a side effect. When you don't have, you make. When you lack, you create. Nearly everyone here is trilingual to some extent. English, Swahili, and a native tongue. I'm glad I stuck out like a sore thumb because most people assumed I didn't know Swahili. But they were wrong. I knew about 15 words. Niaje, habari, mzuri, tafadhali, kwaheri, poa, asante sana. But once we broke the ice on this date, English was a must. Kenya was a weird date though. Mostly because you tried to hook me up with others at the same time. I've never seen women so bold. Y'all were bold in the streets. A cop, who was in the middle of harassing me and working a bribe from me, offered, hey, you should take my sister. Y'all were bold in the DMs. These should not be read aloud. Y'all were bold in the mall where we sat and sipped coffee together. When Kenya does it, they do it big. The Great Migration attracts thousands of tourists every year to watch wildebeest move in groves across the plains. We may have missed the migration, but we saw plenty of action. What took my trip from an 8 to a 9 was my group and our guide. The memories which stick out most to me almost always include other people. The group we had in the safari was no exception. The only thing that would have made my safari trip any better would have been a 30-minute boda ride weaving in and out of the lions like they weave through traffic. Now Kenya's a place where you don't have to say Black Lives Matter because, duh. That would be like yelling White Lives Matter in the middle of Provo, Utah. It just wouldn't make sense. Kenya has its oppression, but it's to the whole. Everyone moves with a slightly straightened back around the cherries and blueberries. No one in Kenya wants to deal with the police. I feel a bit selfish taking away the experiences I had in Kenya as a life lesson, but I guess that's life. We use one another's realities to change our perspective on our own reality. We use others' struggle and gain to put our own into perspective. We're comparison machines. Kenya, you further showed me how illiterate I am, how privileged I am, and how people are people no matter what. I will forever thank you for my first African trip, and like every destination I travel to, I hope I get to come back. Until then, asante sana and hakuna matata. Continue with the chaotic beauty.